Yo, what's up? So here's how you can write a hit song in 5 minutes using this psychology hack. So this video is for you if you are a musician spending countless hours writing, releasing songs to dead silence, putting your heart and your soul into promotion, but no one listens to your music, mixing your own stuff or paying to have it done. Now, if you're watching this, you probably want to consistently have the ability to make songs that go viral. If you don't know who I am, my name is Hasim, and I am an independent artist just like you. I've been making music since I was 13. I'm 19 now. And yeah, I'm here to share what I've learned along the way in terms of marketing, psychology, and basically how you can apply that to your music career. And I learned this strategy a few months ago, and I ended up making this song from scratch within like 15 minutes.
You made me feel some type of way. Maybe I should stay. Maybe I should. Maybe we gon' be okay. There is a hole inside my soul. Each day grows when we crash and burn. Until we crash and burn. Crash and burn. There is a hole inside my soul.
Now you can use this strategy to basically acquire any skill that you want. This is backed by science, and there's like a ton of books that's been written on it. So it can turn a bad musician into a good one relatively fast. I made that song from scratch, so like anyone can do it really. So active imagination and Jungian psychology. So basically, Carl Jung, the guy who came up with the terms introvert, extrovert, archetypes. So he would basically refer to active imagination as a way of tapping into your subconscious mind and engaging in basically whatever images, fantasies, visions, dreams, whatever appear to you like in that moment, you would basically engage with it. So it would be used for therapeutic purposes, but it can also be used to level up whatever skills that you currently want to increase. So the strategy was used by Nikola Tesla and a lot of the artists, the great minds of our time. So your brain already knows how to make good music. The part where most people go wrong is they try to consciously get involved in the process. So your conscious mind basically it processes by linguistic verbal programming. Your unconscious processes by way of emotions. Okay, so basically your conscious mind influences your unconscious decisions that you make would be unconscious, emotional, irrational. 20% of your decisions would be conscious, so logical consciousness. Basically, since you're a seven, your conscious brain, the part of you reading this right now, the part of you understand this linguistic verbal programming. So you've been programmed by the school, the environment, your parents, friends, lovers, any sort of stimulus or material that you consume on a daily basis has an influence on your conscious and therefore your unconscious. So if it's positive, it'll be processed by your conscious brain, making its way to your unconscious, affecting your feelings. So you're now happy. If it's negative, it'll be processed by unconscious, making you feel sad, pissed, annoyed, whatever. So your conscious mind would be your current thoughts. It creates logical rationalizations for the logical, irrational part of us, our unconscious. So these are just some terms that you can also use to define consciousness. So ego, spirit, or conscious mind. All of these can be used to define your current consciousness there. So we will get to how you can use this to actually make music in a second. Real quick, this is how your brain creates experiences, and this will be important for you to actually be able to implement the strategy that I'm about to teach you. But this is also something that you can just carry with you for life because this is actually really important, and most people don't understand this. So praxis is where you take action in accordance with a belief. So, for example, you believe that making hits or freestyling is easy, and so each time you open up the door, you're confident you're about to make something insane. So that is you taking action in accordance with something that you believe to be true. The only way that beliefs can be formed are through our sensory organs or via imagination. So our sensory organs, what we see, hear, smell, taste, and touch. Everything that we believe is based off of an initial experience that we had either recently or a very long time ago, and we now just carry it with us for life. So they're basically all unconscious. Our beliefs are unconscious. We're not really conscious of them. So if you want to have a belief that you are a good artist who can consistently make hits, you basically just want to experience that for yourself, hence the active imagination that you're about to learn. So you're tapping into your emotions. So if you have a song with someone told you that you suck at making music in the past, or you felt horrible in that moment. So if someone told you that you're shit at making music and it hurt your feelings, so you felt horrible, that's a kinesthetic feeling. So basically our sensory organs, you're experiencing something based on something in your environment, based on the outside world. So let's say now, for example, that happened to you in the past, but you now want to release a song, but the emotional charge that you had from that past experience created a belief that stayed in your subconscious and is so intense. The emotional charge around that belief is so intense that you feel like you can't bring yourself to make the same mistake again. So understand that it's not you who's scared, it's your ego, it is your brain creating the feelings to protect you. Our ego basically forms an identity based around our beliefs, how we perceive ourselves, how we perceive the outside world. And our mind works in a way to compound beliefs over time. So over time, it wants to protect us from danger. If you were to encounter a bear and it hurts you, if you survived, it would create a belief that basically, yeah, you need to stay away from bears. And so even if it wasn't inherently bad, like let's say we did something that wasn't inherently bad, but someone judged us, for example, and it caused us pain, we're going to walk with that for our lives, and it's going to have an impact on what we do and how we act. So the way that our brain is designed is that it's geared to move us away from pain and towards pleasure, even if that pleasure is bad for us or unproductive. So it's designed to keep us comfortable and to keep us away from pain, even if it's growing pains. We're still going to feel compelled to move away from that. So basically, if you change your beliefs by creating a new experience in real life or imaginary, your brain will not be able to tell the difference, and it will generate the emotions that would make you a good musician. So our brain cannot tell the difference between what's experienced through our sensory organs, so in real life, or via imagination. So it blends these two together, and basically your brain thinks that whatever is experienced in our imagination is actually real life. So you can use that to your advantage. So yeah, basically, this is how I did the active imagination process to make the song at the beginning of this video. Um, Basically, what we're going to do is we're going to be thinking an image, feeling, and yeah, acting based off of that. So what I did is I sat down, I opened up my DAW blank screen. You can use a beat if you want or anything that helps with the process. I then imagine myself recording. So the key to this is you basically just want to focus on the feeling itself. The image, it does matter, I would say. I know I play it doesn't matter here, but it kind of does matter. If you're able to create a very compelling and vivid image in your head and you feel the emotions, because like the most important thing with this is just to feel it. If you feel the emotions based off of that, it's going to have an impact on the way that you are able to on the effect that you get from the strategy. Did this for the first time. It was basically just me with my eyes closed, rocking out to that silence. But I was imagining like in my head that, me in like some minutes and the future me who was about to record the song, that he was creating the greatest song of all time in history. So remember, you are tapping into your unconscious. So you're basically just hypnotizing yourself into acting, and you are being a certain character or a persona. So if you are a persona, this is basically how people hypnotize. You're communicating with the unconscious brain. So you will unconsciously start acting like that person with enough repetitions. You're creating an emotional charge around the experience, which would lead to you acting it out in real life unconsciously. You're basically deprogramming your brain. So if you have a belief that you're not the greatest musician of all time, there's emotion around that. If you're able to take that emotion and flip it in the other direction, you would basically be deprogramming your brain, and you're going to get yourself to a point where you believe the complete opposite. But it comes to repetition, and you basically just have to, the only way to change a belief is by having another experience around it. If you are able to have another experience or a contradicting experience around that belief, then you will be able to change it. So it'll feel weird at first, but you'll know that your right brain or your unconscious brain is activated by the amount of emotion that you feel during the process. So this works, but the biggest thing is that you just want to get out of your own brain and not judge yourself in the process. If you, like I mentioned earlier, if there's an emotional charge around it, you will basically have to be reprogramming your belief. So you're creating an emotional charge around the experience, which leads to you acting it out in real life unconsciously. Because right now, all that you are as a human is just an accumulation of beliefs that have been stacked in a particular order, whether they be positive or negative. If they're negative beliefs, then they will be having negative impacts in your life. So if there's something about you that you don't like, it's very likely that there's just a negative belief that you have to change. It's pretty easy. All you have to do is just this. And yeah, you just have to either have an experience that is sensory or via your imagination. So it's up to you. But it's much easier to do it in your imagination. So yeah, it'll feel weird at first. You'll feel like a crazy person doing it. But like your right brain, your unconscious brain, you'll know that it is activated in accordance with the amount of emotion that you feel. So, for example, you would want to feel as much emotion as possible, and that would have an effect that is stronger effect on your ability to reprogram your belief. So yeah, this works, but the biggest thing is just to get out of your own brain and to not judge yourself in the process because you're gonna kind of feel weird doing it if you've never done it before. So yeah, if you were to judge yourself doing this, you would basically just be using your conscious brain in an unconscious emotional process. You can't rationally justify something that is emotional because humans are irrational by nature. So yeah, I'd also recommend freestyling, or whether that be singing or rapping, or learning how to do so if you've not done it before. Because the second that you're able to do it, it will aid you in the active imagination or visualizing process. And you'll end up making songs that are actually out of this world within a matter of minutes. The key to all of this is just to not try too hard. You get exactly what you think about or imagine. Because what you think or imagine will turn into a feeling, and what you feel will affect your vibration or your mood, and therefore affect the actions that you take in real life. So this is what it looks like. You think something, that thinking, that picture, that image would create a feeling, that whatever emotions is manifesting that moment, whether it be happy or sad, that would affect your vibration, and that would then affect the actions that you take. So all of that, so every action that a human takes is in response to their current lens of the world, the current vibration that they're in. If this, I'm gonna actually just show you this just to make it make more sense. So I know this says spirituality, but this is actually backed by science. This is basically just science right here. This is I'm not even sure what it is, but I think it's like quantum physics or something. I don't know. It's vibration. Everything is energy. So this is just what this would look like. So most people operate down here in the third dimension, and you can say the physical world, feeling pride, anger, fear, grief. So we operate a lot of the times if they're like in poverty and stuff, they operate down here. And I guess like if you're like a spiritual person or a yoga person, this is what spirituality does. You become more one with yourself, with reality, with the universe itself. So these are just different scales. Most people operate down here though. So fear, anger, whatever. When you negatively have an image in your head, you're thinking about something negative, it would be somewhere down here, and that would be affecting how you feel, which should then affect your vibration. So these are our vibrations right here. So fear as a vibration would be 100, pride would be 175. Basically, this would be affecting our actions and the actions that we take. So this can work in the opposite way as well. If you want desperately, like, for example, if you're trying to make a good song, but you desperately don't want to not make a good, don't want to end up making a bad song or end up having it be a bad song while it's going good. And you're thinking about that the entire time, you're going to have strong emotions about that, and it is going to have an impact on your vibration and just take you down and just make the entire process. Because this can be viewed as like a lens that we see the world through. So if you are at understanding, for example, you will be viewing the world from a level of understanding or from acceptance. If you're at fear, the world that you view through your eyes, you're going to view it through a lens of fear. And everything that you see is going to be from a fearful state. So you're going to project that out into the world. So yeah, that's basically it. Feel free to improvise with your imagination, whatever you want to do. Use an instrumental if you want. We're going to make a song, whatever works best for you. And yeah, I don't have anything to sell you, but I did just release this song.
I'm not happy, but I'm not depressed. I'm in my head, my head, my head, my head, my head, my head. Won't you take me to the place where everybody stays, where they cry their troubles away? And I'm not talking about the place. If I'm being honest with you, man, there's so many things that we couldn't do, and it just replays in my mind so many times for me to even.
If that snippet sounded good to you, I will leave a link in the description so you can listen to it. Thank you so much for watching. I really do hope this was helpful. If it was, just let me know. If it was boring, also let me know. And yeah, I can make more videos like these if you want. Yeah, man, take care and peace.
And it just replays in my mind so many times for me to even get around. Too many times for me to even get around. And I said, who are you? I recognize, I don't recognize you. I don't recognize you. I don't recognize you.